This is the Colt Woodsman. It was made from 1915 all the way to 1977 in a bunch of different types and configurations. The one we have right here was made in 1924, and it's actually a Pre Woodsman. So when it first came out, it was just known as the Colt 22 pistol. So it doesn't have any kind of name. It just says automatic Cal 22 long rifle on this particular one. Calling it the Woodsman would come later, and they'd put it here, and sometimes it'd be here. But this is one of the early ones. We're going to do some shooting here, and then we'll pull back and say a little bit more about it. But it's a pretty simple gun, so there won't be much to talk about here. So to start shooting, we've already got our magazine loaded that holds 10. You pull back, and you start firing. So that was 10 shots, and as you can see, it doesn't lock back, but we can make sure it's empty. Now we'll take a closer look here. So as you can see, it's pretty basic as far as they come. This specific one has an adjustable front sight, and then you can knock the rear sight either way for windage. But there's not much else to say. One good thing about the design, it's a John Browning design. You can take it apart completely, and there's plenty of videos to watch it. I'm not going to do it because you're probably only going to have to once, because the slide is only this part here, so that gives you full access to anything you need to regularly clean. You can tell I don't really clean it that much because I don't have to. I'd say if you get one, take it apart once through the back, make sure nothing's rusting or broken, and then you'll be fine. You can lock the slide back, and that's also part of the disassembly. You can press this down like that, and then that'll capture the recoil spring for takedown, but you don't really have to do that much. Let's go ahead and reload it here, and we might get some... I'll try the dueling tree. Probably won't work out too good, but we've got it 10 yards over that way. And I think that'll probably about cover it. One thing I did want to do, I just thought of, is how to load the magazine, because it's a little finicky if you don't know what you're doing. Since 22 is rimmed, you have to put it in and then bring it back. But the feed lips on this, if you can see, are just these two little guys right here, and they're just vintage sheet metal. So we pull down the button here to make it easier, push it in, and then you actually overcome those feed lips. You have to kind of bend them out of the way. So that was our 9th and then our 10th, and you kind of push it down in there. And it looks a little odd sitting in there, but that's how it's supposed to look. So let's grab it. And I'll try the dueling tree, but no promises. All right, well, I think I was hitting the middle section a lot more than I was actually hitting the targets, but whatever. So all in all, this is a pretty good little plinker. I've shot, the Ruger Mark series a bunch, and I can tell you it's easier to disassemble than those ones, the 1 through 3s, because those are just horrible. But the 4s, are pretty simple. But if you're looking for something kind of more historical, and especially I think a lot cooler looking than those Mark pistols, I'd keep an eye out for these. I got this one, I think it was $500, and if you get a better condition one, they'll skyrocket up to $1,000 and more dollars just because they're highly collectible. But this particular one, it's 75% bluing probably still. So it's good for plinking, and I don't care to get it out here and do stuff with it. But that's pretty much all we got for you. It's a very simple little pistol. If you want one, keep your eye out for one. I highly recommend it. It's a great little gun. This is the Colt Woodsman. It was made from 1915 all the way to 1970. Stop.